saying send. It's
Yeah.
it's not doing like it did before. Okay, well, I can't worry about it.
Yeah, no, you'll be all right.
I'll just share it after.
Hey, good day. Good day. I was getting ready to say good time, a morning, evening, or afternoon, but I'm not sure where you are and where and how you're listening to this, what day it is. I don't know if you're listening to it by audio. I don't know if you're watching it by video. So all I want to say is good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. So welcome back to this Focus Marathon. If you don't know us, if this is your first time tuning in, listening in, my name is Antonio Cheeks. I'm here with Karen Cheeks. She's here just being a dynamic partner. And this station is called Taking the Next Step. And we came up with the crazy, wacky idea to do a marathon conversation around focus. And we are in day wow, what day is it? What day? We're in day 6.
Day 6.
We're in day 6 of this. And man, for those of you who've been partnering with us and going along on this journey, we thank you so much for doing that, for hanging out. Man, Karen, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. Really well.
Yeah. How so? What's going on with you?
It's just a beautiful day. It's a good day to be alive. It's a good day to just be happy. It's beautiful outside. I don't know if you got a chance to get out there. We did for a little bit, and it's just a really good day.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm glad you're feeling good because today is your day. Today is your day. Okay. We're gonna let you do a remix today. Just to recap of what we did so far this week. It's a lot. So this is our weekend edition. Kind of like slowing it up a little bit, relaxing a little bit more. I think I even changed the music up a little bit when we came in because this is our weekend edition. So, man, last week we had a great conversation around focusing on your business. Yesterday we had a conversation around fitness that just blew us away. I mean, both of those conversations back to back just blew us away.
Absolutely.
And then we had a conversation around grief. That was really a powerful presentation, very educational about grief. And it makes you slow down and think, what people are going through. So that really blessed us as well. Now, tomorrow, I have to give you a Bible alert. Bible alert for tomorrow. Because our channel is really a fusion between biblical principles and practical application. So how do you take some things that you may see or may have read in the Bible, and then how today do you take take that information and make it something that you can actually walk in and use today to help you focus better? So tomorrow I'm going to sit down in front of the camera with a Bible verse. And I may have some surprise guests jump in and then sit across the table with me, like, maybe on camera. We'll just be in the room here and take one verse and just chop that up a little bit, just discuss it, a verse around how the Bible is getting us to focus. What do you think about that?
I love it. I can't wait to hear how that conversation is going to go. Do you want to give a little preview of the verse, or are you going to hold off until tomorrow?
I'm going to hold off on everything.
Okay.
Hold off on everything. You just need to tune in, and it's not a preach sermon or anything like that. It's not. We're just having a conversation. The good thing about the conversation is that you'll be able to, participate. You know how sometimes you might hear a message and you just have to wait till the message is over with, and then you have to wait for a later date for the interpretation of it and maybe really to digest it. But we're going to go right into a conversation and then like a little small group discussion while we are live. So you can participate. And I think some brothers may drop in on me and participate in the conversation. So if that happens, it's really going to go to another level. I'm thinking, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. I'm thinking I might create like a Bible focused Sunday or something around that every Sunday, even after this is over with, that every Sunday we take a biblical principle and try to make that find the today principle in that. So I'll tell you that.
Okay.
That just hit me.
I love that. I love that because I think a lot of times, because the Bible has been written so many years ago, sometimes people have a disconnect and they don't see like how the principles may apply to their lives today. Right. And I think that practical application is really critical for seeing how the scriptures are still alive and can have great impact for you, for your family, and success in your life today. So I think that's wonderful.
Well, we'll see what happens, see how tomorrow goes. But I feel the Lord pulling me into that.
Is that like a prompting?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I will give you this hint. We're going through 26 days of focus, and we're talking about a lot of things. But tomorrow's scripture that I want to talk about gives us the one thing that we should really be focusing on. And I think it's going to be a really rich conversation. If it's just me by myself or me at 100, I'm going to enjoy myself. Yeah. So, because it's going to be me, the Lord, and for you viewers who want to come in and participate, those guest speakers, if you want to come in, I'm putting out the challenge right now. If you're watching right now and you know you're in my circle, in our circle, and you want to come in and say, hey, you know what, Antonio, Karen, I want to be a part of that. I want to join into that. You know how to get in contact with me, and we're just going to get in here and just talk. So we're not going to preach. We're just going to talk and help somebody. All right. So next week, my sheet. Next week, we got couples in ministry. We have how to get that dream out of you. We have author, playwright, director coming on one day next week. We have, there's so much stuff. Yeah. You don't want to miss a day.
Yeah. Every day we have a great guest coming on who's going to just share from their experiences, from their expertise, and it's going to be good.
I am overwhelmed with the amount of people who said, let me get on board with this marathon and contribute. Right. It's just been amazing.
It's picking up steam each and every day. And so, don't miss anything next week, and definitely don't miss anything this weekend.
You know what? I think people think this was planned.
What?
This marathon.
Oh, this marathon. Oh, wow. No.
I think, wait a minute. Got Mark in suspense. I love it. So,
hey, Mark,
how you doing, Mark? Mark, thank you for being just really, man, you sticking with us, brother. We appreciate that.
Definitely.
So, what were you saying, baby?
So this was not planned. 3 months ago, 2 months ago, we went away the beginning of June, and when we got back, that's where the idea started to percolate for like a day. Maybe over the weekend, it was an idea that we were just kind of bouncing it off of each other. There was one way we thought it might go, and then came around to it's going to be 26 days. And
that's because we're overachievers. We don't know what we're talking about, but go ahead.
Yeah, then we just started picking up the phone and said, "Hey, let's do it. Let's get some folks to join us in this marathon." And to every guest who has said yes, to every guest who committed, we are so thankful and grateful for each of you. And thank you for joining us in the marathon and bringing just much needed information to those who are going to be tuning in to hear.
It's amazing. I think when we first started, we had so many dates available that people were like, I'll get back to them. There'll be plenty of time. Man, that thing closed up quick.
It did.
That closed up quick. So don't despise small beginnings. You see something moving, jump on the train.
Absolutely.
Get on the board, the love train. This is not the show for that. Let me keep on moving. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead. So today we have our guest today is in the house. We had to drag her from upstairs, downstairs to do this presentation. She's all the way in here from our home. And that's no one other than Karen Cheeks. Let's go ahead and give her a virtual round of applause. I need to get the horns in here. One day I'm going to have all that stuff set up. Well, I had like the party, the blow horns and stuff like that. And Karen is going to talk to us today about how to get your focus back. I can't wait to hear this because sometimes, I'll have that squirrel thing. I'll see, let me jump over here. Let me jump over there. And if you can talk to us about how to really realign that and get back on track with that, that is going to be really good. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I wish I could just go off the scene and let you just be front and center. Maybe I'll move like this real
come
slow
back this
and
way.
let you just have front and center. And but let's just talk about this a little bit,
Yeah.
right? So how do we get our focus back? So 26 days, focus marathon. I know there's going to be some questions in the comments coming up soon, but what are you talking about? What are you bringing to us? What's going on here?
Well, it's really kind of coming from my own personal experience. I have, maybe as you said, we're overachievers. I always have these big ideas, big dreams. I'm going after this certain thing. And sometimes there have been other things that have kind of knocked me off course, that have sent me in a different direction. And I had to think about, how do I get back to being focused? How do I get back to zooming and having a laser beam focus on that original idea that God gave me? Or how do I kind of circle back around so this thing doesn't fall to the ground?
Sure.
And, just been thinking about it, and it was on my heart. And since we're doing a focus marathon, it just really made sense to just share and dialogue on some of the things that I'm learning. I'm not going to say I have all the answers, and you all may have some answers as well. And I certainly welcome you to share your thoughts, share some of the things that you've learned in the chat as well, because this is a conversation. This is an ongoing conversation, and we are learning from each other. And so I just happen to have the mic tonight, but I just, I'm just going to share some of those things that I've learned along the way.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. I appreciate you coming forth to share that, especially in today's day and age where everything is coming at you a mile a minute.
Yep.
Especially if you're like me, someone who, I'm not addicted to social media. I do love my YouTube. YouTube stuff. Most of it is how-to stuff. I'm searching how to get something done. But then you see the stuff on the side and you think, oh, what happened? And you click on there. And sometimes then you forget what you were there for.
Right.
And so with all the information coming at you, all the stuff that's in the news, and we did really good. We've cut back a lot of TV.
Yeah,
we don't really look at a lot of TV.
Not at
especially starting out our day. We pretty much would rather pray, listen to some music, something that gets us in the right mood for the day.
The right frame of mind.
But I like what you're saying. So let's go ahead and so what would be one of the first things that we can do to get our focus back?
Well, so I'd like to tell a little bit of a story.
Okay.
Just a little bit of background on some of where this conversation is even coming from.
Okay.
So, I want to let you all know that I play tennis. I had a match today. Do you know?
Hold on. You had a match today.
I had a match this morning.
Because if you missed yesterday's conversation around fitness, she got challenged a little bit on that. We all did. We all got challenged yesterday with that Josh Allen was here yesterday and challenged us. So you played tennis.
I played tennis this morning.
You talked about it yesterday. You played this morning.
I played this morning. Right. And I'm playing doubles right now, playing USTA, which is United States Tennis Association. They have league tennis in various counties. So you play various teams throughout your county that you're assigned to. And so we had a match today. It was actually the last match of this particular set. It's 18 and over tennis. And so the last match, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I have not won a match yet. And I just started playing, I guess, the end of last year through USTA tennis. And I had my first win today. So I'm super excited. If
Josh were here, he'll be doing the punches.
He'll be doing the punches.
He'll be doing the punches like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm glad. Because I was like, man, another day of consoling you after the loss.
You did say that.
Oh, did you win? And she's like, nah.
Here's the thing. I'm super competitive. I like to win. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But here's the thing, the game of tennis, you've really got to focus. Like, you got to focus when you serve. You got to focus when you're trying to hit the ball. And one of the things I often, because when you play with me, I like, keep your eye on the ball.
You don't call it playing, though.
Okay, well.
When I'm out on the court running around, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you got to keep your eye on the ball if you want to hit it in that sweet spot. There's a sweet spot in your racket. And if you want to hit it in a sweet spot, you got to keep your eye on the ball. So you can't be looking at where your opponent is. You can't, be distracted, think about other things. You've got to really stay focused. And so for me, getting back into the game of tennis has been great. I used to play when I was a child. I played in high school. I played in my early 20s, and then life set in and I got off track. I was, just pulled in other directions, just doing other things, other priorities. And tennis really fell off for me. And it was really during the pandemic that I discovered some things that I love. And one of those things happened to be the game of tennis. Sure. Yeah. And so what I realized, though, is playing when I was a teenager and playing today, it's a little bit different.
Things have changed.
Okay. A little older, a little wiser, but things have changed. When I would play when I was a teenager, I could just get out there, do my thing. I didn't have to really warm up. I didn't have to stretch. I didn't have to do any of that. I gotta stretch today.
It's a project when you're getting ready to go play tennis. I love watching it. It's the wrapping and stretching. The ankles are wrapped. The arms are wrapped.
But here's the thing. I have to wrap so that I can protect my bones, my joints, and make sure that I don't get hurt.
Right.
So it's a preventative measure, but it's something that is necessary. And as I was thinking about that, I was like, you know what? Just as I'm protecting my body to play this game so I can stay in it for the long haul, I want to play till I'm in my 70s or 70s and maybe even 80s, Lord willing.
Yes.
I would love to do that. The same way I'm protecting my body, if I'm thinking about focus, I need to protect my focus. That hit me the other day. I've got to protect my focus.
Okay.
Here's some of the reasons why. Because as you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of things that are coming at us. Whether it's through social media, whether it's things on our jobs, you might be on a job where you're asked to do 5 different things and none of them have anything to do with your actual job title, job description.
Come on now.
So we're getting thrown so much stuff at us, right?
I'm working through this. Yeah, go for it.
There's so much thrown at us. And how do we stay focused? And so one of the things that came to me is that our mindset matters. Our mindset matters.
All right, cool. You know what? I like it. So you're saying to stay focused, to stay on the path. One person was telling me, when you look at focus, it's like a magnifying glass. It's a lens.
A lens, yeah.
That you dial in to the mission at hand.
Even microscope, if you want to get there, yeah.
Yeah, and so you get to the core of what matters.
Yep.
And for you're saying that mindset matters. I see that up on the screen. Mindset matters. So
yeah.
Come on, talk about this now. Come on now. What you got?
So mindset absolutely matters, because here's what I have learned. Sometimes there are these coulda, shoulda, wouldas of life. And what do I mean by that? Yeah. Sometimes we make these statements. Well, I could have done this if only, or I would have done that if, or I should have done this. And that to me really speaks to the fact that we're looking backwards.
Sure.
We're focused on regret. We're focused on things in the past. And so when we're looking back, there's no way that we can possibly look forward. You see it sometimes in relationships. Sometimes, if there are regrets in a past relationship, you may be looking back at a past relationship, why it went wrong, instead of really focusing on either what's ahead of you, what's in front of you, how you can work with the person you're actually in a relationship with.
I was thinking that, because I'm like, they're getting beat down with all of the past stuff that you want to hold on to.
Yeah. Sometimes, I've seen it. Sometimes people are having arguments with a past partner, but they're with a different person. And it's like they're trying to argue something that's in the past.
Right. So the person now has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with the situation.
And they're like, what did I do?
They're like, where's this reaction coming from, right?
What happened?
So we gotta make sure that we're aware. Do we have some regrets that we're still holding on to? Do we have some things that are in the past, but we're still looking at them over and over and over again in our lives? And so we want to make sure that we are letting those things go, because we got to change the focus and not look back, but look forward.
So what kind of mechanisms should we have in place, in a sense, to make sure we keep our focus, not looking back,
Yeah. So, if there are regrets, there are a couple things. One, you can forgive yourself, which is huge.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is forgive ourselves. And then also forgive the other person, if there's another person in that situation, because forgiveness, and, I'm not saying anything that Oprah hasn't said or other, gurus or whatever, but forgiveness is really key. And it's actually a biblical principle as well.
Sure.
But when we forgive, it certainly frees us up. It certainly, just allows us to let go. It lifts a burden off of us, because it's not so much for the other person. And I'm saying this as someone, I used to be one who would hold grudges. I mean, I would hold a grudge, I would hold a grudge. And I learned that if I let that thing go, it does something for me. It has nothing to do with the other person. You may not even like the other person who was in that situation with you, but when you let those things go that have hurt you, that have caused you feelings of regret, when you forgive, and forgiveness just simply means, you know what, I'm releasing whatever that thing was. That's all it really is about.
So it lifts a burden off of you. I think a lot of times people say, well, I'm not going to forgive because I'm getting them back.
Right.
And you're not getting anybody back.
No.
You're actually hurting yourself.
And what you find is that person has probably gone on with their life, and here you are still stuck in the situation.
I know people probably mad at me from something I did when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. They probably can't stand me.
I'm probably in the same boat. Because sometimes
I didn't know. I was, childish and stuff, So,
right. Immaturity, whatever it may be. So definitely we want to let go of those regrets. Okay. Another thing, I'm thinking that during this season of life that we're in, a lot of times we try and multitask. We try and do everything. We try to be all things, maybe to all people sometimes. But when we multitask, it's very hard to be good at any one thing. Yeah. I don't know if you,
no, because most, like, the guests that we have coming on, like we had Douglas Aze come on. He does one thing. Or, well, I should say he built his success on one thing.
Right.
And then that put him in a position to diversify. Josh Allen that came on, we know Josh does one thing. And he is now so well versed in that one thing that he has a level of credibility.
Yes.
That is just, it's just amazing. I'm trying to think of a word to say it, but it's just amazing the way he just delivered yesterday. And I was just blown away.
Absolutely.
So do we have to have some type of directional, let's say, like a compass or something to keep us, are we headed north, south, east, or west? What is it that we need to put in place to that? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So for me, it, and it hasn't always been the case, but the Bible is definitely my compass for life.
Is this another Bible alert, just in case somebody's listening?
It is a Bible alert.
All right, Bible alert. Just if you're watching the channel for the first time, you're like, wait, did they just say Bible? Yes, it's a Bible alert.
Yeah. So, the Bible is certainly my compass for life. And that has not always been the case. And what I have found is when I don't let the principles found in God's word direct and guide my life, I end up in a mess. Now, that may not be the case for you. I can't speak for anybody but me. And what I have just learned and found over the years is, what? It's actually better to follow these principles.
Okay.
There's so much wisdom in the Bible. And, we're in a day and an age where, everybody's not happy about Christians. Everybody's not happy about the Bible.
Sure. Nobody wants any parameters.
Right.
Yeah. And guess what? That was me. I'm like, no, let me do what I got to do.
Exactly.
And what I found out that I had more freedom in the parameters.
Yeah. There's safety.
There's safety. I was freer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just making sure. I'm on the camera. I'm trying to get this thing right here. So with the parameters, I actually felt more free, and people don't want, don't infringe on my freedom.
Right.
But there's safety in the parameters. Right. I'm actually freer now to do the things that I want to do with wisdom. And I think that's the key for me. Yeah. So I was that guy. I was that person.
I was too. That's what I'm saying. The Bible was not always my compass. I wasn't necessarily trying to do things God's way, but just over time, experience knocking my head against a wall, running into brick walls, going, down a path that really the Lord, you know how that we say it may be that gut instinct. And I just truly believe it's the Holy Spirit that tells us, don't go there, don't do that, don't go down that path. And I would ignore it at times. And when I did, it got me in trouble.
So Karen, there's a lot of stuff coming at everybody. People are hurting. They're going, with COVID hit a couple of years ago, people have had loss. We talked about grief earlier. People have just so much stuff going on. They lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And some people, we're going to talk about transitioning, like from careers and stuff like that, especially as you're getting older. Oh my God, is there such thing as, what do you call it when you have people who are more seasoned, and because they're more seasoned, you're ignoring them for the jobs and opportunities? Like, how do you manage?
Like ageism?
Yeah, something like that, right? So those things are happening. All this stuff is coming on. So we talked about my compass. So for you, let's talk Bible.
Okay.
Is there, and I know there is, but they may not know. So for you, is there like a biblical compass, maybe a scripture that you prefer when all stuff is happening, all the things are going on around you? Because we've had hiccups too.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, if y'all had seen us in 2018, you'd have been like, throw it in, throw the towel in.
Right.
It's a wrap. Right. Not relationship, not relationally, but just all the stuff that was going on around us.
Yeah.
We were just like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Right.
And now it's like, how did we get here?
Right.
It's like really God can do some really remarkable things in your life if you're willing. And maybe if you tune in tomorrow, I'll help you with that, because we're going to tell you what to focus on. But anyway, so for you right now, so I think you got something.
Yeah, so I've been really, meditating on and pondering Philippians, the book of Philippians, chapter 4. That has really and truly become one of my cornerstone. It says a chapter. That whole chapter is really good, but I'll pull out just a couple.
Okay.
So chapter 4, verse 4 says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice.
Okay.
And always. Okay. And that's part of the reason that I love it, because it makes you pause, because it says always. And we know that there are circumstances and situations of life that we don't like, that hinder us, that hurt us, that we don't want to actually come into our lives. And how can we possibly rejoice when things are going wrong, when I've lost my job, when the money's looking funny, when my relationship is, tense, or when it looks like we're not going to make it, or whatever it is? How do I still rejoice always? And I think one of the really interesting things about the author who wrote this, he's referred to as the Apostle Paul. And when he wrote this, he was in prison.
Okay. He's rejoicing, and he's in prison.
He's in prison.
Okay. All right.
And he's encouraging the church in Philippi to rejoice, no matter what situations, circumstances they find themselves in.
Make sure I'm correct. Somebody just cut us off on the road. You're not in prison. Now you chasing the car down. You've seen on the news people chase road rage. It's not that bad, y'all. It's not that bad.
Right.
Paul is in prison, and he's saying, rejoice.
He's saying rejoice always.
Always. Okay. Hey, correct me.
The good, the bad, the good.
Hey, straighten me out. No.
The good, the bad, the ugly. He's saying rejoice in every situation. And I think because there's another book of the Bible in Romans, if we tie that in, that all things work together for the good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Right. And that's something that, it takes a minute sometimes to see it. You don't always see it when you're in the midst of that situation, that hard time. Sure. But if you look back, you'll say, oh, I see how that fit together. Sure. I see how that worked out actually for my good. But yeah, he tells us to rejoice.
Because, so in one of our classes, I think we mentioned that obedience, when you look back, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that was for my good. Like obedience, you don't understand it until you look back.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you go through all the trials and tribulations and you say, but I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to do what the Lord is telling me to do. And when you get to your destination, you look back and say, oh, that's why I had to go through that hurdle. That's why I lost my job, because God was pushing me. I'm going to tell you something. Some of you may have lost your job and you got upset, but God could have created the atmosphere the situation so you could get out of there, so you can do the bigger picture. You're thinking too small. God had this grand vision for you before you was born in your mama's womb. He had this design for you, and then you was created to fulfill the design. But you too busy holding on.
Right.
Talking about myself. You too busy holding on when you need to be doing much bigger things. Right. Much bigger things. So God said, you know what? I'm going to create. Remember, and this is getting crazy. I didn't know we were going to talk about this stuff. But remember when you're looking at Moses was trying to get the children of Israel out of Egypt. And in the scriptures, it kept saying, and God hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Yeah.
And I think that stood out to me. That's like, it wasn't like, Pharaoh was like, he was getting upset by himself.
Right.
God was intentionally hardening his heart so God could get the glory.
Yeah, so God could get the glory. And I also,
I didn't expect to talk about this.
I didn't either. But here it is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes tough situations come to get us to move.
Right.
And that's
I'm just remembering that. Yes.
Yeah, to get us to move. And because like you were just saying, because God has something bigger, because God has something greater for you. And so sometimes things do come up to move us to the place that God needs us to be.
So we have a choice in the matter.
Absolutely. I
think that's what Paul is saying. Yes.
I mean, I believe so. Because, so he tells us to rejoice, but we don't have to rejoice. We can choose to stay in a funk. We can choose to stay mad and stay angry. We can choose to not be, not find the positive in a bad situation. Sure. But we also have the choice to go the other direction. And I'm just learning. I'm learning that it's so critical when we look at situations. Is there still something that's good out of that situation?
Sure. Out of that situation, out of that person. I'll tell you this. When I was, I told you this. I think I told you this. When I was a kid, we used to play what they call possum. That's what they said to me. Like you're in the bed. You're supposed to be in the bed sleep, but you're laying there like you're asleep, but you're not really asleep. One year, I'm a kid, and I heard two relatives in the room talking, and they said that little guy back there is never going to be anything. Who would say something like that about a little kid? That's crazy.
That is.
So you have to, when you hear that, what they say, sticks and stone may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Wrong. Words will devastate you.
Yeah, they can. Absolutely.
If you don't choose to not let them define who you are.
Yeah.
So what can you think about?
So Paul gives us some insight on this. And
I see you smile because of that too. Like, man.
Because I love it, because it helps us focus and remember where to keep our focus. So he says, finally, brethren or sisterin, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things.
Wow.
I love this so much because not only do we have a choice, but the thing we also have to keep in mind is what we feed ourselves will grow. So what do I mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
So, I mean, in the natural, when we eat food, we grow. And, for a certain point of time, we grow vertically. And then after a while, we start growing horizontally.
Y'all know what we're talking about during these COVID years, boy. It's been interesting.
Picking up them COVID pounds, I tell you.
I'm blaming it on the manufacturers. I think they're making clothes too tight. There's no way I wear a 38 now. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. That's
a whole nother story.
There's no way.
But what we feed will grow.
Yes.
So just like we feed our bodies food, we grow. But if we feed our fears will grow. If we feed our faith will grow. And so Paul has given us really the formula for where to keep our focus, to keep our minds focused. And so,
lean in on this. Go ahead.
The very first one, which says, whatever things are true. And I love that, because we're in a day and age where truth is being challenged. Everybody has their own version of truth.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Everybody's writing their own mind.
Everybody's writing their own minds.
Yeah.
But if we focus on what is true, And God gives us truth. He said, you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So if we focus on what's true, that helps to keep us our minds in the right place. If we focus on those things that are lovely and of good report, and so again, this is not denying that something's going wrong. This is not being in denial of the situation and circumstance that you may be facing, but it's not staying focused on what's wrong. It's really what this is telling us is to stay focused on what's right.
It's in spite of.
It's in spite of
what's going wrong.
So it's kind of like 80% of your time should be focused on what's right. And then, okay, yep, I realized that I lost my job, but guess what? I have enough intelligence. I have enough know-how. I have enough connections. I can start working on those things to help me navigate to the next place, whether it's starting a new business or going toward another job.
Yeah. Focus on your skill sets. Focus on your gifting. Go deeper in those things. Go, look at what's in your hand.
Yeah.
The lady was talking about and why are we talking all this Bible stuff? The lady was talking about the man of God came into town and her husband had died. And then the creditor was coming to get her kids. Was it her sons or something like that? And was taking them away. So she's already in a bad place. And now she's getting ready to lose the kids that could help her in her bad place. So she said, man of God, come on now. My man, my husband served you. What you going to do? Basically, she said, look, what we going to do?
Yep.
And he said, well, what do you have? What do you have?
What's in your hand?
What's in your hand now? You so busy worrying about what happened to you, what could, and sometimes you be thinking about stuff that's going to happen to you that never happens.
Right.
When you should be focusing on what you have, what's in front of you, what's that gift, what's that talent. People are telling you, every time you do X, man, you just blow us away and you shrug it off like, oh, well, that's just what I do. When you should be laser focused on that. You should be going deeper into that. I need to stop.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, that happens. You get so like, woe is me. And then you forget, what do I have?
Exactly. And so that's why it's so important to feed your faith. And so if I keep saying, well, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to do it. I'm stuck in this situation. Right. I don't see any way out. That's the wrong focus.
Yeah.
Focus on the things that you can work with. Focus on the things that can bring change. Focus on the things that can move you forward. That's where you want to put your focus.
Hey, look, guys, if you didn't hear day 5, we had fitness trainer, professional pro athlete, former pro football player Josh Allen talk to us about the words that we say and what they mean. And yeah, they can make a difference. All right, Ken, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a pause.
Okay.
And let's see what's happening in the comment area for people who actually came out and support us, actually live today. I know people are supporting us when they can, but we have some people that are live. So we're going to, honor them and see what they're asking us or saying in the chat. So let's go ahead and move over there and see what's happening in the comments and see what we got a few things. I mean, Mark is out there just having a conversation with us. I love it. But we got Eva is saying, I can absolutely relate.
Nourish to flourish.
Yeah. I love it. What? Okay, let's bring it. He said, oh, yeah. It's like choosing hope when you're feeling hopeless. I think we got a poet in the house and we don't even know it.
Don't even know
it. We got like, yeah. So we got, man, this is just good. Yeah. Oh, you got a congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It was so good. I was so happy. I was so relieved because, it costs when somebody keep losing. You got to take them out to dinner. You got to you got to do things.
It wasn't even like that.
You want to go shopping or something? Oh, I ordered you something. It'll be here tomorrow. All kind of stuff just to survive that. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. Thanks for participating in the chat. All right. So, oh yeah, come in. Make sure you join. Come tomorrow. Look at this discussion. Yeah, let's see what happens. So, of course, our station is called What's the Next Step? That's what this channel is about. What's the next step? Even after this marathon is over, our station channel is still about what's the next step.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be still giving information on that. Probably not every day like we're doing right now, probably just on a weekly basis, but we're definitely going to do it. And I think I'm going to do that Sunday series, though. I think I'm going to keep that going, take a carver moment and just talk about a scripture. And that's going to stretch me too.
Right.
That's going to challenge me to actually study more and stuff like that. Which you want me to study the word more, right? I'll be better man because of it.
It's all good.
It's all good. She can't please help us, Lord.
No, it's all good. But I mean, I think together, one of the things that we love is to help people move forward, and so that's what our channel is all about. So definitely.
All right. So the question to you: what's the next step?
So the next step is, I truly believe, because you may be clicking on all cylinders today, but life has ups and downs. It has peaks and valleys. And so there are times when we just need to kind of check. Okay. We need to do a tune-up.
Okay. All right.
So I'm calling that the occasional tune-up. We need to do the occasional tune-up where we reassess what's going on in our lives, reassess and take a look. Am I really still moving in the direction that I've set for myself, or that I should say that God has set for me? Am I moving toward those goals that I've set? Am I doing that? And I started thinking about this because, just thinking about a tune-up with a car. And every time we go in to take one of our cars in, they often mention,
you can stop right there. One of our cars in. I remember we used to have one car.
Yeah, we
and you was like, "When you gonna get a car?" Because my car got totaled and it was just a mess. Metro busing. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just felt the blessings because, like I said, we were,
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we've gone through some interesting times, so that's for sure.
Yeah.
But and God has been good. So when I was thinking about bringing the car in, they always ask about or check for our wheels, are they aligned? And I started thinking about that because when you're driving your car, when the wheels are aligned, of course, it's really smooth, everything is straight.
Sure.
But sometimes the alignment gets off with your car. And so you slowly start drifting. And then when you're driving, you just, you unconsciously or subconsciously right the steering wheel so that you stay on track. And it's something that you're doing probably unconsciously. And it's, it's one of those things where you overcompensate to make sure that you continue to move in the same direction. But if you don't take care of that, the car
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And so the same thing for us, we've got to assess where we are, am I drifting away from the direction that I'm supposed to be heading in? Am I overcompensating by doing other things? We've got to kind of take a look at that and assess that and just be aware. So that's the first thing. Be aware, reassess, and get realigned.
So do you have to have, or should you have, your vision? I think it's a vision thing, a focus, lens thing. You need to keep that in front of you.
Absolutely. One of the things I started doing this year, and I've written down goals before, but here's what I used to do.
What's that?
I would write it down and then I would close the book.
Okay.
And what I'm learning is you've got to go back and reread it over and over again. Don't do it in January. If you do like your New Year's resolution and then you don't look at it again until December.
Did I make it? Nope. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't make it.
Because what keeps you on track is to go back to that diagram, to go back to what you've written down and revisit that. Revisit it maybe once a week. Okay. Revisit it once a month, whatever the frequency is for you. But don't let a lot of time go through without revisiting what goals you have set for yourself.
That's good stuff. Yeah. I think I've missed a week. I would write something down. I said, man, I got to keep this in front of me. And I do the same. I'm going to put post it on the refrigerator. It's going to be in the mirror in the bathroom. So first thing I see in the morning, that's what I see. I think you would be annoyed with that, though. You say, what is this on the mirror? I can't see.
I probably am.
Yeah, but I need to have it, instead of grabbing grabbing your phone first thing, you should be grabbing your word, prayer, and then your vision for for your life, for yourself.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, we've got to keep it in front of us and keep it right before us. So however often you need to do that, just make sure you're doing it frequently, not infrequently, because that's going to help you stay focused. Because one of the things I wrote down is I want to make sure I'm playing tennis more frequently.
You are.
And I am.
Yeah.
because that was one of my goals for my own health, because I'm not a gym person. We talked about that last night.
Y'all, hey, tune into that from last night. Tune into that. That was really funny.
Yeah, I can do it, but I don't really love it. But doing something that I love to do, where I'm not thinking about the exercise, I'm not thinking about the pain, I'm not thinking about my muscles, getting, stretched and everything. But playing a game, my mind is free. I'm focused on the game. I'm not thinking about what's going on with my muscles. So
that's interesting. When you're doing something you love, I know there's a debate about do what you love and it never feels like you're working. But I remember I had to apologize to you because you said earlier in our relationship I love tennis, and I said okay, she loves tennis. All right, I didn't get it. The way I received it was I like to play it occasionally. That's the way I received it in my head. But we finally went out and played. Man, when was it? We went up to the school here and we played.
That was probably the beginning of the pandemic or something.
Yeah. And I was like, what is going on? She would not get tired. I thought we was going to hit around a little bit and she was going to be like, oh, I'm done. I got it. I was like, mercy. Because she loved it so much that she did not want to come off the court. If she had not got hungry, we would still be out there. That was the only thing that got us off the court, was that she started to get hungry. And because I kept saying we done, she said, no, we got to do some more. I said, we done now? No. She said, let's keep going. And I had to apologize. I said, I heard you say you love the game, but I didn't hear you say you love the game.
Yeah. And I do.
Yeah, and I felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep your goals in front of you, revisit them, as often as you can, but don't let a lot of time go by in between. Another thing I would say is sometimes you need to rest.
You didn't bring that up before. Yeah. Rest.
Yeah, you need to rest because, if we're constantly going, constantly on the go, we see in the Bible that God rested, and we know, and he was setting an example for us.
Right.
And so we know if the Lord rested, then we certainly have got to rest. And so we need to take time, whether it's, a long weekend, a long week, vacation, whatever it is, time away from the regular hustle and bustle. And you will be surprised. Like I don't know if it's taking a walk, just finding some time where you can allow your mind to just settle and to rest so that you can get regenerated and restored.
Yeah, I like that. That's how we ended up here, because we took a break and we saw things. We were like, whoa, we just saw things. We saw, water, and we were looking at the tide coming in and how, the tide come in at night and it came in with a roar, and it was a gentle wave, but that wave had power to it. And it was just, so when we came back, we were just regenerated.
Yeah.
And our minds was just different.
There's something that happens for me. I would say when I'm around water, to be honest with you, the peace of the water, the sound of the water, it actually does something to my spirit. Like, I don't know if it's a calming thing, but it does something for me. So find that thing for you. Maybe it's getting out in nature. Maybe it's doing some type of activity, but find something where you're allowed to get some rest. You're allowing yourself to get regenerated. You're allowing yourself to kind of quiet down so that you can hear God say something to you.
You on the roll. I think you have another person to play tennis with instead of having me getting beat down.
I'm calling you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now, she's coming off a victory now, so she's on a high. So she's getting momentum. So be ready. That's nice. So so that was good. Your parting words is, that occasional tune-up. I think that's great advice. You shared what that looked like to do that, to get away. Don't force it. I know there's this phrase out there, you got to grind, you got to be on the grind. Why don't you take a moment and be on the grace? Be on your grace. Yeah.
Can I just say one more thing, because around this occasional tune-up, make sure that you are in the moment.
Okay.
Make sure you're in the moment. We talked a little bit earlier about multitasking, but make sure you're also, as you're trying to find focus, that you're in the moment. You're not like doing one thing, but you're thinking five 5 years down ahead. Stay in the moment. And so for that could be something with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Because being present. So you know, maybe it's that time of resting and relaxation. Don't always do it and you're not present with the people who mean the most to you. Those, you know, the people around you, your family members, your friends. Be present with them. Sometimes we're multitasking with our family members, you know, and they're trying to have a conversation with us. They got something going on and we're like, we're on our phone doing something else. Be in the moment, because every moment that, you know, we have with each other is so precious. And I just encourage you to be in the moment. It's something I'm learning too. I'm not saying it as in I'm always there, but I'm learning how important it is to really stay focused on that situation that I'm in right there in the moment. You know, am I having that conversation? Am I listening to you, or am I thinking about something else? Is my body with you, but I'm on the other side of town? No, it's, you know, it is a song. Yeah. But the thing is, be present, be in the moment. Yeah. Be in the moment.
Yeah, time is precious. I like what you're saying. So thank you for those words. Thank you for the encouragement you've given to me. I'm sure you've given the people who are listening some encouragement. So thank you for that.
And let's keep the conversation going. If you have some things that you want to put in the chat, things that, you know, help you stay focused, please do share them. Because again, I'm just sharing some things that I've learned along the way, and I hope that you will share some of your experiences as well.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks again. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow will bring. Let's see what tomorrow will bring on that Bible alert. I got to tell people on social media that it's coming. I don't want to just get them off guard. They'd be upset. You didn't tell me this was going to be about some Bible stuff. So I'm telling you.
But here's the thing. We've been talking about the Bible all week. It's been coming up. So they should know by now. That's all I'm saying.
We talk about it every time we on here. We say something about the Bible.
It's in us. It's going to come out. So,
but biblical principles merging with practical applications.
Yep.
That's what you're getting. All right, y'all. Hey, look. Hey, we're signing off now. Y'all take care of yourself. Yes. Be good. Be good.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend. And we'll see you on a YouTube channel real soon. Or wherever this is being streamed or broadcast, coming to you live and hot. And like Josh did the other day, boom, 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 boom. Get your shot in. Get your shot in. Y'all take care. Goodbye now.